Hello. So I'm in the middle of leading my latest course, Redesign Your Career and Life, and I wanted to share an insight from our session this week. I shared an example about how sometimes we have these goals, these big goals, and we work really, really hard towards reaching them. And after finally reaching that goal, we feel temporarily very excited. But that feeling is fleeting, and that excitement goes away very quickly. I don't know if you've had this experience before. One of my friends, actually, she was working really, really hard towards a promotion, and she sacrificed, worked very long hours, and she finally did it after months and over a year actually of really hard work. She finally got the promotion. So at first she was super excited, but a few days later she was actually very surprised that that feeling of excitement didn't last. It just sort of dissipated. And this is what sometimes happens for us. We work really, really hard towards something only to find that the happiness that we feel at the end is temporary. So why is that? And I shared the analogy of a dog. So if you tell a dog to sit, and then a week later you give the dog a very juicy steak, the dog is not going to associate sitting with a steak. He doesn't realize that he's receiving this reward, the steak, because he was sitting. And we as human beings are actually not that different. We have been conditioned to feel that a reward, pleasure, or pain immediately follows behavior. So even though we know intellectually that we've worked towards something for years or months, we only feel that that last step that we took is associated with reaching the actual goal. So therefore, the happiness that we feel is only connected to that last step that we took. And all these months and years of work, we didn't really realize the happiness and fulfillment that came from all that work that we did. So what can we do? Well, we can actually make sure that on an ongoing basis, on a regular basis, daily, weekly, we actually acknowledge ourselves for the work that we're doing towards reaching a goal and really enjoying that process and making it as pleasurable as possible. So for this week, I really want to acknowledge myself for the work I did for our session in the course this week, and just celebrate that accomplishment and enjoy the process as I'm refining and preparing for next week. What do you want to really pay attention to this week that you did, that you worked in order to reach your goal, so you can realize the happiness from that as well? I'm Manuela Power, your career and life happiness coach. And if you enjoyed this video, please click subscribe or follow. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Wishing you a wonderful week ahead. Take good care. Bye.